I'm a bit slow today. Good evening, everyone. And there's a cough as well. What a start. Welcome to this evening's episode of Voice and Baltic Star After Hours, the jazz club of streams, where we settle down in Ben's red velvet surroundings, grab a drink, and relax and chat. Put our feet up, the role playing, the shooting, the fighting, the arguing, the pickpocketing is all done. That's for another day. And instead, we're just going to enjoy our company for an hour or so and be one with the universe. I'm Luke, that's Ben. If you don't already, please consider following us on Twitter at Boys Baltic. If you enjoy this, consider following us on Twitch. We much appreciate that. And tonight is a little bit different to some of our Thursdays, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, it has an ongoing theme of exploring the Traveller universe and the Traveller rules. But we thought tonight we would take a hands-on look at Traveller combat and how it actually works in practice in the game. It's actually not a particularly heavy feature of our gameplay. We don't have that much combat going on. But when it happens, it can get quite intense. So hopefully we'll explain the way it works in Traveller and see if people learn anything or come back to us and say, you're doing it all wrong, which either way is fine.
There's no such thing as wrong in role-playing. As long as we're having a happy time, full of joy, and our characters aren't getting killed by overzealous DMs, then it's okay.
You say overzealous.
Well, you're just doing your job. So, like you said, we don't do much killing, and when we do, it's generally the big cheese at the top of the mountain. But we haven't, in our 15 episodes, I think we've only had a shootout once. We had some before we started being on Twitch, but the only one I can think of was the one in Orbit.
Yes, actual shootouts. You've had non-shooty combat quite recently, but the only other real sort of combat event you went through was a combat round controlled poisoning.
The poisoning. Why get into gunfights if you can just poison someone instead? That's what I say. So it takes all the danger.
This is it. And this is by its nature, the group of travellers we have, they are a sneaky role play oriented group. They work around problems rather than barreling through them with main force. And I've got to tell you, in Traveller, that's not a bad idea. Just generally speaking, Traveller is a very brutal universe for people who don't grasp the potential dangers quickly, because death is fast, and not just for gardeners. It can be fast for anybody.
It is. It's a deadly world that even all of us still, having bought many things and got better armour as things have times gone on, we're still one good shot away from death, theoretically.
Yeah, you don't get to that situation that you do in some role-playing games where your characters have become so powerful that it's almost impossible for them to die in a single hit. In Traveller, it always remains possible. If something big enough happens, you're very, very likely to die. Travellers do not survive, big high-end hits from orbital weapons or nuclear blasts. And that's how it should be.
Quite right too. And there's no coming back from it either. If you're lucky, you've got a first aid kit and you can get there before someone bleeds out. But
yeah, and death is death. There's no concept of resurrection. There isn't one of those sort of things of when you hit zero, you're actually technically not dead. No, you are unconscious and unable to function before you actually hit 0, while you've still got a few of your points left, and you need help at that point. Otherwise, you will start dying.
Indeed. We've as a group, we've not lost any of our group to combat. We've
Not
of
player
course
characters.
we have of course lost. I would say 2 NPCs in combat,
Hmm.
and we've had. I think Sammy Cress has been close to death at least twice. I think, and been brought back by a medkit.
Yeah, yeah. She's come close a couple of times, which is a shame because she's quite a nice character, actually. I think.
No, yeah, rather Stefan stood in the way and got instead.
I noticed you didn't pick one of your PCs for that.
No, no, exactly. Yeah, so combat is a rare thing. We used to do it a bit more, but like you say, I think we've changed how we go about things. Generally, for us now, combat is very much a last resort, but that doesn't mean it doesn't sometimes find us. And we've fought against a whole range of beings, I guess.
Yes, yes. You fought various kinds of creature. Some oxivorous spiders in the Moho mine on Osin. A cave network full of Moanths on Dillabru. And yes, people. You had 3 separate significant fights with members of the Black Sun mercenary unit.
Yeah, those wrong ones. Indeed. And we've had squidlings. We've had that black zombie goo.
Yes,
With
absolutely.
zombies. So
Yeah.
we've definitely had a mix of things, and yeah. So I wouldn't say we're specialists at combat, but we've had to find our way through them, and so we've sort of got used to how we do it. And I think ages ago when we started, we did pretty much everything through description, didn't we? So you would describe the situation, and we would say, "Is there cover? Can I do this? Shall I do this?" But then you changed it all up even before last year was your first map, or the very beginning of last year was your first map.
Yeah, I realistically, I'd started to produce actual printed out maps that we could throw onto the tabletop to use, and then obviously last year we hit COVID, and everything changed. And one of the things that changed was we needed a way to handle, I think fairly inevitably, a way to handle dealing with how to play remotely, where we weren't all looking at the same thing at the same time. And so I built a sort of virtual tabletop mapping system that we could use for gameplay. So we thought this evening we would actually use one of the maps that was used by us before we started streaming as a virtual tabletop to use as an example. This is actually one of those Black Sun encounters, or was originally. So this was set on Osin, and it was a fairly straightforward encounter. I think probably the least complex of the Black Sun encounters you faced. Though again, Sammy did manage to get herself quite badly hurt, as is her way.
She was protecting us. So I think, yeah. So this was the one in the corridors, right?
Yes, exactly. And so, in fact, I can give me just a second. I can show you. Bring it up on screen. That's very exciting, isn't it?
I'll get rid of all this screen detritus, so the floor can go totally over to There we go. Your creation.
In
Oh
theory,
no! Look, people.
if I do,
People are seeing how it works. It's like how sausages are made.
yes, you never want to show people how sausages are made.
Oh, I'll add in my bar.
Okay,
There we go.
so there we go. In actual fact, with this map, I can probably blow it up a little bit, can't I?
I might do. I might.
That looks about right.
There we go. Look, we're all setting up. I'll tell you what. I'm going to get myself in the mood. I'm going to get the older, the main screen out as well. Let's get that in. There we go. Now it looks like we're living the dream. Look at that. Here we go. Now I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the pressure now. The adrenaline's starting to course through my body. There I am in the map. It's all kicking off. Car is there. Oh, Geeker. We weren't on Geeker for this one though, but I'm not changing that just for the sake of feeling into it.
No. That would feel overindulgent, to be truthful. And changing the location of the Baltic Star to what it was doing at this point seems silly as well.
I'm looking back
yeah,
at the date.
we are, after all, dealing with a with a sort of an occasional thing. So,
yeah.
What you can see there is the beginnings of the mapping system, the mapping corridor, basically. And there is more hidden under the bland grey boxes. And so let's take a quick chat about how combat works. Like most role-playing games, combat is divided into turns, and each character gets their own go in sequence. And that sequence is determined by initiative order. So the very first thing you get to do is, if somebody in your party has the tactics skill, you can roll a tactics check and you can apply the effect. In fact, you are required to apply the effect after doing so to all of the initiative rolls for your party. So in essence, if your tactics roll gives you a +1, then you can apply that. If it gives you a -2, then you have to apply that as well. But if you don't fancy your chances, you don't, of course, have to do a tactics roll. You can choose not to, if you feel confident that you've actually got the matter well in hand without worrying about initiative order. If you ever feel that way in Traveller, you've critically misunderstood the situation. When people are firing big, powerful energy weapons at each other, going first is important.
Yes.
Okay, so what we have here is two of our characters who are, by no inherent coincidence, Luke's characters, in the corridor, and we should probably roll for initiative. So, does either of your characters have a tactics skill?
Do I have to use it if I don't want to? If I've got it?
You absolutely do not have to take a tactics roll.
Because Sarai's got military tactics 0, but I'm not going to muddy the water. I feel that it could end up worse than it is. So.
Then the very next thing to think about,
yes,
is your rolling for initiative. Now, initiative in Traveller is two slightly different things, and that gives you two different options. Each of your characters rolls either a dexterity or an intellect check. You can get a better initiative because you are quick of mind or quick of hand. Either of them could give you a bonus. So with each of your characters, you can choose whichever is stronger. You can say, I'm going to make this one based on my intellect, or this one based on my dexterity.
Cool. Well, as people can see from the bar, Cara is much better with intellect. So I always make my checks with intellect for her. So I'll roll my two little dice for Cara. And it's a 5 plus 2, because 12 gives you a +2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. So 7 is Cara's initiative.
Okay. So Cara gets a 7. Yep.
And then Soraya, her Dex is 8 again, so I tend to go with intelligence intellect for her, but it's just a +1 because she's got a low intellect. So it's a +1. That was a 4. 1 fell off the table. That was a 6. So she's actually hit the intellect 11 for Soraya.
11.
And I've not warmed the dice,
Excellent
so
stuff.
anything could happen tonight. You could be rolling double ones all night, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, yes, indeed. Okay. So, having popped those two into the chart, as you can see, updating them sorts the characters on the right-hand side by their initiative order. Now, I'm going to roll initiative for the other persons who I happen to know are on the map somewhere. And Luke does not know where these other persons are, which is kind of the point, but... Oh, that's very nice. Okay. So, an 11. A very nice roll for initiative. Okay. Now, that means it comes down to the dexterity score, because the villains they have to fight are tied with Soraya for initiative. So, Soraya, what is your dexterity?
It is 8.
8.
Yes.
8 is enough. So Soraya goes first. Okay. So now we've got our combat order. Now, basically, in each turn, a character can do what are called 1 major action and 1 minor action, or 3 minor actions. And a minor action, generally speaking, something you can do like moving, for example. And a major action is something you can do like shooting. So, Soraya, looking at where you are on the map, where would you like to go? Or not?
I'm taking input. If anyone wants to give input into where I'm going, you can comment if you like. I'll have my own decisions, but my hands can be guided by the viewers if they wish. I'll always give a few seconds before a decision is made, and you can guide my hands. If I'm moving, it's how many squares is it that I can move? Is it 6?
You can move 6 meters, so that's 4 squares sideways, and we normally approximate that to 3 diagonally.
Okay, well there we go. So,
which is an approximation, but it's not far.
No. Well, I'll just give chat a minute, and I'll consider. And if not, I think I know what I'll do. If I've got nothing else, I am a cautious player generally. I've got very delicate characters. Soraya's better. Her endurance is a bit stronger, so she's less likely to fall apart the second someone fires at her. Okay, I am going to go. Mr. Lano. Hello, Mr. Lano. Thank you. Pleasure as always. Here's to you as well. I am in squash tonight. It's very, very hot. It feels 20-something here. I'm gasping.
It is extremely hot tonight.
If I drank a beer, I'd just fall asleep, I think.
Right. And that's even before the bastards stop firing.
Exactly. So, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's risky. It's risky. It's me. I'm Boyce and the Baltic Star. Hey, Mr. Leonard. Yeah, it's me. So, for my 2 characters, Kara, Soraya, if you've got any clever things you want them to see them try as a bit of fun, then let me know. They're both armed with various weapons. I think Soraya's got some grenades, or at least I think they're definitely carrying grenades this evening. I think. So yeah, if you've got anything that you quite fancy, but make sure you let me know, because I'm not going to spend 4 minutes before every single decision I make. But if you like the idea of me trying something out, then please do. But for now, I'm going to move Soraya 1, 2, 3. Can I get her to that corner to the west and up a little bit? Can I get her to be peeking around that? Can I get close enough or not quite?
Right onto the sort of apex of the corner, facing northeast, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you can. In
the one
fact,
to the left of me. Yeah.
yeah, you absolutely can.
Brilliant. I'll do that then, please.
So if we do that, if we move Soraya for the moment, and that is effectively her minor action.
Yes.
And she can then take a major action. So what I should point out, actually, there are a few other minor actions you can take, which include dodging and diving and parrying and things of that nature. So there are other options as well.
Cowering.
But broadly, they're about taking cover or trying to prepare to evade, that sort of thing. So you go there, and first thing is that allows you to, for the first time, see properly around that corner. And not only that, but allows you to see.
Okay. Wow.
An actual person.
Literally about 3 meters away from me. Oh. All right. Well.
Yeah, about 4 meters off. Yeah.
Thank you, Dicey D&D. I think Ben did a good job with it. I think it took him some time, and we've done lots of different backgrounds and themes and things. I think he even used it for like a Christmas special, didn't you, with elves, with killer elves or something. And it was he managed to make it look really good, and it helps us visualise quite clearly what we're doing. I think, especially for someone who's made it from scratch. I'm just singing your praises, Ben, because it's Thursday. I don't sing your praises on. Don't sing them on Friday. Yes. Thursday's the praises day. Friday definitely isn't.
Absolutely, yes. On Friday, the mockery will resume.
Exactly.
Yes, it was built entirely from scratch. It is literally raw code, for a number of different reasons, which I won't go into now. Why I decided to do that, but anyway.
Cool.
So,
well, she's got
you now have a major. You want to take one?
Yeah, man. She's got her Gauss rifle +1, which is a 4D damage, and because it's a +1, I only have to hit on a 7. Correct? I can't remember what that +1 was. Yes. Fantastic.
Yep, that is essentially true.
And I've also got slug skills +1, which means so I'd normally have to hit on 8. My Gauss rifle has a special augmentation which you gave for when I got it from the dealer. You did a nice little thing for me. So that's a +1, and my gun combat slug, which Gauss rifle is Gauss rifle slug or laser?
It's a slug weapon.
Slug, so I've got +1. So I've got +2 to my aiming. It's very close though. Is that going to affect my Gauss rifle?
It is, in fact. It is going to provide you with a -2 at that range.
Makes a lot of sense. So it cancels themselves out. So here we go. So I'm rolling, hoping to get an 8 or more, which I didn't.
And I am dodging.
You're dodging?
You tell me what. Yep.
Okay. Ah, sinister. Well, I hit a 5, so I was missing anyway. You've wasted your dodge.
Well, absolutely. Now, this is actually a thing that's worth noting, because the dodge, you sort of have to declare before you know if you'll need it, for obvious reasons. It would have provided a -1, so that 5 becomes a 4, which is a clean miss, obviously, which is lovely for me. However, because I took that dodge action, and I can take as many of those as I like on another character's turn, each time I take it, it has a -1 impact on my attempts to shoot.
Excellent. Good, because you're a bit too close for my liking.
Yes. Okay. Right, so that's a clean miss, and that ends Soraya's turn. And you will be delighted to know that that means it's my turn. Okay. So, having seen Soraya fluff the shot,
It's early days. Cold dice.
it is
I'm
early
taking
days.
I'm taking it seriously now. I'm actually going to warn them.
Right. What we're going to do is take a pistol shot at Soraya. This is going to be an aimed shot to give me +1. It is a laser pistol, and
Am I in? I must be in some sort of cover there. From if you're shooting from that
you
point.
are indeed. Yeah, you absolutely are.
Yes.
So you have, as far as we're concerned, no cover. You have, a sort of standard -2 for the cover you're in, but you also are going to have some cover, sort of fairly secondary because you're kind of up against the side of a wall, but you're going to have +2 to your armor for the purposes of this.
Legend.
So this will be laser pistol. Okay.
Don't forget your -1 for your dodge.
Yes. Yeah, well remembered. That's 9 - 1 is 8. -2 is 6. +2 is 8. It is a hit with 0 extra effect. So a laser pistol does 3D damage.
And I've got +2 to my
+2 to
army.
your arm. So that's a big one. Those two were an 11, and that's 13 total.
That is.
-2 is 11, and then minus whatever your armor is.
14. So it didn't get through my armor. My armor's a 14.
It didn't get through the armor.
Yeah, it's a good vac.
So,
Hostile vac suit, 14.
Fantastic.
She's soaking it up. It just makes her stronger. It just makes her angry.
Okay.
She's
now,
hulking.
It's worth also pointing out that this this enemy character has also used his minor action. He used it to aim. So there's nothing more he can do that turn. He is, however, not the only enemy.
Oh,
So what we're going to do is make a move.
Where's he coming? Where's he coming from? Or she? Where are they coming from?
So,
aha!
Someone has just popped out from around that sort of gap further up the corridor on the left, and is now taking a look at a shot straight down onto Soraya. Now, this time will not be aimed, so it's just +1, but there's no cover.
Yes.
So that is an 11. +1 is a 12. So that's a hit with an effect of 4. It is also a laser pistol, and that's a double 6. And that's a 2, so that's a total of 18.
Okay, so the armor will stop 4 of them. 14, so 4 get through, which will come off my endurance first of all.
Of endurance, yeah.
So I have to take damage off of my 3 sort of physical stats. Generally, endurance being the one of choice, because Sarai's actually got not bad endurance. She's got 11, so down to 7. Man, it's harder when there's just 2 of you. Someone remember that? I'm gonna write it down. I don't want to mess up my character sheet. 7. All right. Okay. Time to come exploding back with anger and rage.
Okay. Now that actually will, for now, conclude the villainous turn. So off you go. We need to have a look at Kara's turn. What is Kara going to do?
Right. Kara is going to edge to the apex of the corner, just to the sort of 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, top left of her.
Yep.
Peeking around, peeking upwards at that person to the north.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And I'm tossing up between laser carbining or doing the old dual wielding. Although I haven't said that now. So I've got the gauntlet laser. So doing the old Kara Croft. Oh. No, I'm going to laser carbine. It's got a good roll if I can hit on that.
Okay.
I've moved so I can't aim. Laser carbine. I've got +1 to my laser, my energy. So I've got a hit on a 7. There's no reason. They're not doing anything. Well, they might dodge, but I don't know that yet. Okay, so I'm looking to get a 7. Let's see what you do. Which I have done. I have done better than that. I've done a 10.
A 10?
Yes.
Okay. So there is no dodge this time. That is an effect of 3. Now, this was a laser carbine?
It is. It's a 4D plus 3.
A 4D plus 3 laser carbine. Okay,
yes.
So it's now 4D plus 6.
Hey. So because I needed to hit the 8, every one I got over 8 or over the 7, I got an extra 1 for my day. Basically, I've made a very accurate shot.
Yep.
So, yeah, so 4D plus 6. Come on, let's get some 6s like he did. I got 1. I've got a 6, a 5, a 3, and a 1, which is 11, 12, 15 plus 6, 21 damage.
21 damage.
That sounds good. It does sound good.
21 damage is not just good. I mean, it is good. No, nobody is suggesting it is not good.
It's good.
I mean, it's not good for me, but it's good for you.
It's good for people that love the game.
But
it's good for the good guys.
Damage. More to the point, is enough.
Chalk one up.
Outright kill.
A splotch. Excellent work. Talk me through the death, Ben. Talk me through. How did he die?
Well, Kara comes around the corner and, bravely ignoring the pretty open shot she gives to the enemy to her west.
She's a brave girl.
Yeah, she is brave. That's one of the words for that.
She's also foolhardy.
Yes, she completely ignores that. She braces herself firmly against the wall, and with her laser carbine, just zooms straight in and takes a shot. We're going to give her the benefit of the doubt here and assume that she actually meant to aim right for the throat, for the gap between the head and body pieces of the vac suit.
Classic Kara.
But whether or not that's literally where she intended to aim, that is indeed where it hit. And down went the enemy.
Quite right too. I'll try not to think about if they had a family. I always ruin it for myself by thinking about their life outside of these moments. Okay, anyway, a moment of silence and then moving on.
Okay. Now that brings us to the end of this first combat round. So it's top of the round, and it is Soraya's turn.
Soraya is... Will it... I'm guessing it's a minor action for her to sort of... her rifle would be slung, of course. So I'm guessing it's a minor action for her to like let it fall on the sling and draw her pistol because it's close quarters. Yeah, but I'm going to do that because that -2 is hurting. So she's drawing her Gauss pistol. The range. I'm guessing there's no negative at the range now because we're pistols, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So that's her minor was to change weapons, so she can't aim or anything, but she's got energy +1. So she's rolling at a +1.
Okay. At a +1.
Yep.
As she does, her opponent throws herself to the ground slightly behind the angle of the wall, essentially taking some cover for herself.
Okay.
So she will essentially end up here, but kind of tucked into the sort of curve of the wall. So that imposes a -2.
Okay.
And -2 cover for a total of -4 for this shot.
So -2 for the cover. And what was the other -2 for? Being on the ground?
-2 for the fact that he's diving for it.
Okay. So like a dodge. But that must be their minor action at the very least.
Oh, no, that is a fairly substantial negative for their turn.
Okay, that's good. So -4 +1, so I'm rolling at -3. So I've got to hit 11 or more. There's not much more. Which I do. I do! Get it.
You hit an 11.
Get it up, yeah. Trying all your fancy ways. I'm moving that way. See, I was going to have fun with this, and now I've taken it seriously. Come on. Come on. I don't care if I die. Let's do some misses. No. We're going to do it.
Okay. So it's an 11. That's a 0 effect hit.
Yeah.
With the Gauss pistol, that's 3D.
It's just 3D. Exactly. Come on. 17.
17. Now, for the purposes of going through armor, because it's a Gauss pistol, that has an armor piercing characteristic of 3. So that counts as a 20 before you start subtracting the armor effect.
Nice.
Which means that is also enough. Only just, but that is actually a clean kill.
Only's diving around. Stand there bravely.
It goes right through the the face plate of the armor just as he dives to one side. You know, Soraya is completely unfazed by this random gymnastics.
She's seen it all. Been there, done that. She's seen Stefan do a lot of gymnastics in her time. Gymnastics doesn't faze her. She took the shot. Oh. Right. She was a bit nervous. She was a bit nervous from missing so badly last time, to be honest. And and the pain on her body from the shot before, but she managed it. Okay.
So for the moment, we are out of combat. So would you like to explore a little bit more of the cave network? Or the tunnels?
I suppose I had better. Now, I'm not going to... There's only 2 of them. It's very dangerous to split people up at this point. What we're going to do is we are going to go round to the south. So we're going to go west from where we are, so the southern tunnel. With Soraya's going to reholster her pistol, and she's going to bring up the Gauss rifle, and she's going to be edging in forwards with Kara behind her, sort of keeping an eye out in case they're flanked from behind. She's also going to have her laser carbine, and they are going to edge down that skinny corridor that looks like it's lit. Is that lit? And they're going to stay close to the northern wall. Oh no, actually no, they're going to stay close to the southern wall, because Sarai's going to poke her head round and look to the south to see if there's anyone in that room area.
Okay.
I'm going to keep talking unless you tell me to stop otherwise.
No, that's fine. So that's okay. So we're putting Soraya on that corner, and where is Kara relative to that?
2 squares back.
Okay. That's absolutely fine. Okay. Well, I can tell you that in doing so, you see nothing of note.
My favourite thing. In which case we're going to Soraya. Let me check Kara's armour. Kara's a bit delicate. Kara's going to take a knee where Soraya is and cover as Soraya runs across to the edge of the corridor looking up. The apex,
Okay.
just as it folds around to the north, that apex there, so she can look up the corridor with a bit of cover.
Right. Okay, so if I read you right, you're putting Soraya sort of there, and where's Kara going to go?
Kara will be. I'm going to put her at that bottom apex, like 2 squares.
Yep.
Yeah, there, perfect. You know
Yep.
it. Yeah, that's
exactly like that. Yeah.
That's exactly. That's like read my mind.
Okay.
That's exactly what I want to do.
All right. Then, in doing so, what you immediately can see as Soraya peeks around is that much, and still nothing to be seen.
Nothing there. After all my strategic positioning as well.
I know, it's awful, isn't it, when that happens?
Kara's going to go to where Soraya is, and Soraya's going to go to that. You know where I'm going to put her first, if I'm doing it in stages. To that little corner on the left.
On the left lip apex, yeah.
Yes, please, yeah.
Yeah. So if we move Kara to here and move Soraya to here. Okay.
Yes.
Excellent stuff. As soon as you get there,
yes,
you spot a person.
A person. Yes. Look at them. Personally ways.
And because of the way you're picking through, it is Soraya's initiative.
Ah, Soraya. You legend. I'm going to check something. I can't remember what the... here we go. I don't like to ask you questions because I feel it gives away my strategies. Can Soraya... is throwing a grenade a minor or a major?
Throwing a grenade is a minor action.
Can she throw a stun grenade, which she has this evening for the no pocket nuke? So I'm going to draw the line at pocket nukes. I haven't got a pocket nuke with me. I feel that's a little bit unfair, or like a capital ship weapon or something. But can she attempt to throw a stun grenade up so that it hits the wall to the north of the person, and hopefully the angle brings it down behind them, hopefully shielding me from the concussion? I'm playing like a snooker trick shot off the wall. Pyong.
I see what you're doing there. Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah, putting just a little bit of right hand spin on it.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah, just to sort of bring it into the right-handed bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just
Yeah. Okay.
tease them.
I'm with you.
That's what I'd like to try
Okay.
anyway. Try is the optimum word.
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, you absolutely can. So you can throw a grenade. You will need to make a dex check, please.
Ooh. So what am I needing to achieve my skill? I need to hit a 8. Dex is 0.
You need to hit a standard 8, yes.
Okay. So Soraya, she pulls the pin, gives it a little kiss, and with an underarm throw, hoiks it in the direction, and almost makes it. She can't quite tell yet whether it went the way she wanted. She's hit a 7.
A 7. Okay.
Yes, I think it's definitely left her
All right.
hand. It's not blown up in her face. Question is,
Can you roll a 1d6 for?
okie dokie. This is when I never know whether a high number or a low number is good. I hate it when you say 1d6. It's a 5, so it's either very good or very terrible.
A 5. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Your grenade leaves your hand smartly, but instead of flying all the way down the corridor, it hits the right-hand wall on the way up, just short of the exit, ricochets off it, and bounces off to the left, out of sight, round the corner.
Could be worse, I guess.
It could be worse, yes. So, let me do a quick check.
Soraya, you're rubbish at throwing grenades. Why did I get you to throw the grenade?
Okay. A stun grenade, blast 9. So,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. All right. So, can you roll? Oh, no, hang on a minute. Sorry, it will do blast 9 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 is 3. Okay. It detonates around the corner to the left.
Yes.
But there is no indication as to whether or not it has inflicted harm.
Oh no. Oh. In which case, then I'm just going to hoik up the old. I'm in cover there. Can I hunker down? Like I've got 2 other minor actions. Can she basically cover even more so? Is there something I can add to, like, if I'm fired at? If that makes sense. Or can I save it for dodge? Or can I save it for dodge? If that makes sense.
You can do a number of things. You can actually move back and fully into the cover around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fine.
Yeah.
Or you could move using a minor action.
Yeah.
In any direction you like.
Yeah.
Or you can indeed just prepare to dodge or dive if shots come your way.
I'm going to prepare to dodge or dive if shots come my way, please.
Okay. Then in that case, it becomes someone else's turn.
a kindly older gentleman who's just passing by on his way to pick up his grandson from piano practice.
So we're going to move. We are going to move Let me do some math here.
Oh, right. Don't sully maths with your evil machinations.
Okay. So by my calculation,
Ah.
we are about to enter melee.
Oh, that was in melee. Get your dodge.
So,
Ducking and diving.
we're going to launch a melee attack. Now, melee works much the same way, except that it's slightly angrier. And we are attacking with a saber.
What? Oh no.
Just a conventional cavalry saber.
Oh, yoy.
Okay. And the attack is +1 is 10.
What about my dodge?
Your dodge is worth -1, making it a 9.
Okie dokie.
Okay. So that means a saber. Just in case anyone is watching this who actually has a copy of the Traveller Rules, you will notice the saber is not in it. This is a custom weapon,
Oh, no.
one that we needed because we had a player who needed a variety of additional options for weaponry.
Stabbing. Big stabby.
For stabbing points, yes. 15. Saber. 17. That's a total of 15.
Okay. Well, my armor soaks up 14, so I will take one more damage, which means I'm down to
Excellent.
6.
Is that still coming off endurance?
Yep. 6.
Okay. Right. So that concludes the villainous evildoer's turn.
Interesting. They are very villainous and evil doing.
I feel that about them. Yes.
I don't like the cut of their jib, to be honest.
No. So, Kara.
She's going to advance her minor action northwards, as many squares as my minor action allows me.
Yep.
And she's going to advance another 4 spaces, so she's diagonally to the bottom right of the red blob.
Okay, that will use the second minor action.
That's fine. We don't like bullies bringing their swords and things to a gunfight.
Okay.
Just feels wrong. Any attack is a major, so all I can do is add it really to her potential dodges if it gets back to her again. Yeah, there we go. And then we're going to do a running clothesline as a team. We're going to grab hands and we're going to bounce. That's exactly what we're going to do. Clothesline from hell. Yeah.
Top of the round, Soraya's turn.
Soraya. Now we're in melee. If I try and leave melee, it doesn't end well for me, does it?
If you leave melee, then your opponent does get an attack. Yes.
But I can't fire when I'm in melee, or I can, but at a disadvantage.
You can, but at a significant disadvantage. And you can only fire pistols and things like that.
Yeah. Well, even at a significant disadvantage, I'm going to have to go with the Gauss pistol because she's got melee -1 and it's only going to be fists, so that's like a 2D or 1D or something, so it's not great
Yeah, 1D
anyway.
for that.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
will. She'll get the Gauss pistol and try and jab it into their ribs. You know, the writhing sword wielding maniac.
So that is a -2.
Yeah.
And whatever your pluses are taken into account.
I'm going to use my minor to aim.
Okay.
So that takes away one of the minuses.
That becomes -1.
I've
then
got
add in your bonuses.
a slug +1. Takes me back to 0, and a Gauss pistol, that's it. So I am at 0. I'm rolling at 0. Come on. It's been warm and sweaty in my hand. It's feeling good. It's not feeling good. It's a 6. It was a failed attempt. She tried, but it's just that cheat with a blade. He was just moving around too much. He just thought he was like in the Olympics or something.
I'm afraid a 6 is a miss.
Errol Flynn.
Yeah. It was obviously, close in theory, but not enough. Right. Well, it's not going to surprise you to learn that your opposing miscreant is going to unleash the best possible phase of attack.
Oh no.
Rolling a 7 + 1 is 8, so a 0 effect attack. Oh, this is much weaker.
Thank goodness for that.
6, 7, 8, a total of 9. So it'll all be absorbed by Soraya's armor.
Yeah, she's gonna stand there. She's gonna put her hands on her hips and do like some kind of Robin Hood-esque laugh. Ha 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 ha!
Okay.
Swashbuckling. Your sword can't damage me.
And with the minor action, is going to withdraw.
But do I get a roll on that because they're withdrawing from melee?
If you are able to make a melee attack, then yes.
Can I choose what I make a melee attack with?
Provided you are able to, effectively, Soraya can presumably throw a punch or pistol whip her.
Yep.
Pistol whip him.
Yep.
And Kara, realistically, would have to throw a punch, if you know what I mean.
Well, she's got her stun fist on.
Oh, a stun fist. Have at it then.
Right, so Soraya will go first and try and get. So she rolls at a -1 with a fist, and that's going to be a 6 overall. So that's not good.
Okay, so that's a miss.
Yep. Kara is rolling a stun fist. I think we could. It's a fist, so we would say that's unarmed. That's unarmed melee. That's not a blade melee. That's her throwing a fist. Right?
That is definitely unarmed.
Now, my favourite thing about Kara is that she's actually got unarmed fighting skills, which no one ever seems to know. Yes, she's got unarmed +1. She can throw punches,
like most street artists.
Exactly, street artists. As you know, if people don't like her paintings, and if drunk men get lecherous at her in a bar during her carousing times, she needs to be able to throw a punch. And with her stun fist, which has the trait of stun and gives a bit more damage than a fist. I'm building it up now. This is where I hit a double 1. I didn't, at least. I did hit an 8. +1 is... Hang on. Oh, sorry. I'll show the back of my hand. 8 + 1 is 9.
9. Okay. And the damage on that?
1d +2, so it'll be a 1d +3.
Excellent stuff.
But with the trait of stun, so... And I hit 6, so it is a 9. 9 damage and stun.
A 9. Okay. That means despite best efforts, our heroic person has not, in fact, been able to flee. And is instead staying there stunned. Okay. Now, You will be delighted to know, of course, that that does not actually end the turn for your opposition.
Oh. Oh, no.
Because there is another opponent
Oh, hopefully they're
who last turn
very long way away.
managed to get quite close to the action.
What? Oh, no.
And can move this turn there.
Okie dokie.
Now, these people are villainous and evil.
Yeah.
And frankly, scumbaggery.
Very much so. I've always said that about them.
And as a consequence, think nothing of throwing a frag grenade straight down into that group of bodies.
Oh.
So, we're going to take a dex check.
Oh, God. Okay. I hope your stunned person has not managed to... God, the laughter must mean a dice showing. Excellent. Well, they're doomed.
That was not a good roll, it has to be said.
Cara might be okay. Cara's hit a 9. Is it for the grenade or for us? Sorry.
This was for the actual grenade.
Sorry.
That was the dex.
Can I save that 9? I'll keep it there. I'll keep it there for when I need it.
Okay, so
it's going to ping off. Goodness knows where.
the grenade overshoots substantially and detonates down at the bottom of that corridor.
Okay.
Kara's turn.
So is that person stunned next to me then?
Yes.
Yes. She's going to raise the laser pistol to the throat chiller area and pull the trigger with aim.
Okay. Aim +1, laser pistol.
So that's another +1. So that's +2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I get anything considering they're next to me?
It's not an advantage or disadvantage with a pistol, no.
Okay. Okay, I should be all right though because I've hit an 8 + 2 is 10.
Is 10. Okay, so that's 3D + 3 + 2. Is that right? 3D + 5.
Yep, 3D + 5. Oh dear. I'm glad I got a +5. Let's put it that way. Got the bus I used to catch every day as a kid. The 333. +5 is 14.
Is 14. Okay. That is enough for the stunned victim to be down and done, thanks to the stun damage from before.
Get it. Magic. That's good. It would have been quite embarrassing to her to do that whole big pose of stunning them and then standing right next to them and then just shrugging it off.
I do take your point.
It's just a flesh
wound. I really do take your point. So on that basis, you now have an opponent for Soraya to have a go at.
Oh, and she's feeling very grumpy right now. Let's see if I've got any other grenades that I can obliterate them with. Give me a second. Just looking at any interesting items that I might have with me this evening. I'm going to use a... This is fun. I want to use an incendiary grenade, please.
Okay.
I've really got to roll well. I've really got to hit this though. It could end up in tears. But it's got big range, so I've got to make the shot pretty well. And it's got blast 3 and fire. Damage 2d.
Okay. So, roll a dex check for me.
Oh, come on, Soraya. And I can't use that 9 that I saved from earlier.
No, sorry.
Well, it should be okay. It's an 8. Oh, sorry. My hands are wonky today. Hang on. There we go. 8. Flat 8. I want to do the same as before, the old bounce, the bounceroo, so that it doesn't.
Okay.
So we're shielded by that corner, if that makes sense.
Well, to be fair, blast 3 means it's got a relatively small burst radius. You're fine as long as it's a hit, and it is a hit.
Yes.
So, roll for damage, please. Is that 2d plus 3?
It was 2d plus just 2d, but fire happens.
Okay.
It's a 5, so the damage itself was not big, but it's a 5.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. 5 appears to hurt, but not kill. So we are going to.
Was that was just a? Are we saying grenades were just a minor?
No, sorry. Preparing a grenade is a minor. Throwing it is a major.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it's an attack essentially.
Yeah.
So, you have right. What to do? What to do? Need to think smartly here.
Run away.
I think that's exactly right.
Oh, you coward.
However,
I'm really hot now. Oh, I've send you grenade.
Before running away, we're going to lob one more frag grenade.
Oh, you coward.
So a quick dex check. Oh, that's much better. That's a 9. This one is 10. So that's going to land exactly where aimed, which is basically between your two characters.
Oh, God.
And this is a frag grenade. So 5d damage.
R.I.P. my characters.
Blast 9. So 5 14 no 9 it's a total of 17.
17. Okay. Oh, that's so Soraya soaks up 14, so she's down to 3. And poor old Kara, her protection is just 10. So I can choose what I lose it from, but if I lose it from my, can I?
Yes, after your endurance, you can choose what it goes from.
Oh, so it needs to be endurance first. In which case, it's drained her endurance. So endurance is down to 0, which means she's unconscious, and she'll have to lose one from Dex, I guess. So Kara is down.
Kara is down, but not completely dead.
No, she's just one thing. So
and
she's
not
unconscious.
Even bleeding out. She is able to stabilize at some point.
Thank goodness.
Okay, Soraya, your turn.
What's my shot looking like from there? Is it pretty clean?
If you want it to be clean, you'd probably have to move forward a couple of squares.
How far? Like, how close can I be without having problems with a rifle?
With a rifle, you're about as close as you can be now without having a downside.
What was the downside? -2.
-2, yeah.
I've got +1 with that. Let's do it. I'm going to. It's a death or glory type moment here. I'm going to go to the top left apex. So I'm still a couple of squares away. So I'm not in melee. So directly up, and then I shall go with the Gauss rifle, which is a +1 for that, a +1 for slug, but then a -2 for being close. So it's rolling at 0.
Rolling at 0. Yep. You can also, with a Gauss rifle, I think, use the AP function, can't you?
I can, and just go for it.
Yeah.
Yes, I have. Yes. Well, let's do that then.
Which gives you AP5, by the way.
AP5?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I've just rolled a 10, so...
Oh, sorry, Auto 3 as well.
Auto 3, yeah, Auto 3, yeah, sorry.
Auto 3, yeah.
Auto 3, yeah, I've hit a 10.
10 plus 3 is 13. And that 10 counted your 0, didn't it? Because it ended up as 0, right?
Yeah, it was, plus 2 minus 2, 0, yeah.
Okay, so that's a total of a 13 hit.
Yes.
Which gives you an effect of 5. So 4D. It's a Gauss rifle.
4D plus 5.
4D plus 5.
This should be okay. Playing the odds. Let's find out. Yes. I think this person is long gone. So I started really bad, then she's woken up. 10, 21, 26.
Yeah, that. Yeah, that is a complete and utter gutting.
Chisel her friends get knocked down.
The Gauss rifle firing full auto just tears through the vac suit of the opposing character. Blood just exploding out of the little holes, that are tiny little, almost needle-sized holes made by the hypersonic rounds from the Gauss. Yes, and that is down.
Good.
Yeah. And that was also the last of your opponents.
Hooray! But at what cost? So Sarai's going to need some healing up over the coming hours and days, or a med kit.
Yeah.
Kara would need some stabilizing and a med kit or some healing up time. So it wasn't all victory. That's for sure.
No, that's essentially true. Yeah, that's basically true. And since our viewers have not seen the map, there's the other end of it, by the way. That was the whole battlefield over which, when you actually fought through it in the game, you fought through all of that.
Yes.
Right, and then up to the top.
And then we scarfed out that top right corner, I believe, if I remember correctly.
That's right. Yeah, that's where he disappeared out of. And that was a fight with the Black Sun, well, nasty bad people, you know.
Yeah.
Who were very, very bad people.
Well, they are, and we are nothing but pure goodies. So chalk one up for the pure goodies against those dastardly baddies. Yes. If it's our story, we can be heroes in our own story, etc. Unless we're killing gardeners.
Absolutely
unless we're killing gardeners.
Frankly, it would be weird not.
It would be. Cool. Thank you. I enjoyed that. It was nice. It's the first bit of combat. I've almost forgotten what it was like to do combat. Nice as a treat.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't want to do it all the time. No. I'd much rather solve things by gambling. Hang on, let's get rid of these things. Yes, so thank you. I'm just going to get rid of these things and bring back the other thing.
So that's the basics of Traveller combat. Obviously, there are other kinds of weapon and other kinds of things, and you can have more complexity, more tactics. There are a few other things we didn't look into at this point. One of which is that in addition to the tactics skill, there is also a leadership skill which can be used to earn your side a number of boons to be used during combat. There is a downside to it. If you fail to successfully gain your boons, roll a negative as your final result, then that grants those boons to your opponent, to the characters under the referee's control, and that can be bad. That can be very bad.
It is very bad. Yes, it's a bit risky. When we started adding that rule in, it was very upsetting. It's like, oh no, Oh no. Yes. But thank you. And thank you everyone for watching. I hope that's cleared up some questions. You've seen it. For those of you that have been watching us, won't have seen combat either, for a very long time or that. So, that's what it looks like. Hopefully with less Kara getting badly injured, which is always the most important thing when it comes to combat. And yes.
Well, I think it's sad when Kara gets hurt, because I think everybody's got a bit of a soft spot for her. It does seem, however, that the characters who are most beloved in the game, which includes not only Kara but also I think Sammy,
Yeah, go Sammy.
are probably the least well armored. There seems to be a disconnect between the choices the party have made to protect these beloved characters and the way that they treat them when not under fire. Yeah.
It's that difficult balance of in-game versus what would she be like as a character, if that makes sense. Yes. She wouldn't be that hulkingly. I want her to be hulkingly protected, but it's like it's not her, I guess. So it just means that any combat we go into, I live in fear, there's a little bit of fear in life is a good thing, surely. A little bit of edginess,
yes.
A little bit of concern, yeah.
Yes, you are supposed to face some risk, aren't you? If you don't, then it takes a lot of the spice away.
Yeah, and it's risk is the spice of life. Like variety and risk added together. It's a lot of spice, very spicy.
To be fair, I've always felt cayenne pepper was the spice of life.
Oh, I had a bit of cayenne pepper in there as well. Lovely. But anyway, on that spicy note, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We always really appreciate it. Thank you. And anyone that's watching it tomorrow, which is now, time travel. Thank you for watching through to this point as well. And Friday night is our live stream night from 10:30. It's the new time. So tomorrow night, 10:30. Join us for the next chapter of Boys from the Baltic Star with Ewan as well. Couldn't do it without him. He's the cayenne pepper to my life. Hang on a sec. Yes. And we will work together to overcome all the dastardly things that Ben has thrown us, including mysterious temple-y things in the jungle that we've just found. It's like real role-playing, isn't it? Actually, in some mysterious temple. What's happening?
It is astonishing. It's all gone a bit D&D suddenly, hasn't it?
Yes, I don't want any owlbears suddenly appearing out of the murkiness. Actually,
love owlbears.
I would prefer to meet an owlbear than to meet old Fess again, to be honest. So hopefully, I'd like him to get mauled by an owlbear, but
yeah, he's not that cuddly, is he? Really?
He's not. But yes. So anyway, thank you everyone, and have a wonderful but hot evening. Tomorrow, 10:30 Friday. Join us. Spend your points, have a laugh, interact. We'll have a good old time, a fun old session, I'm sure. And we will see you there. Thank you, Ben, for re-educating me. I appreciated
it. Yes, I know you're sitting there desperately hoping that you'll have forgotten those rules again before the next combat comes round.
Yeah.
And you never know. Maybe that will be so.
Once a year's enough, I think. Anyway, take care, everyone. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Cheers, Ben.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Bye.